Hello, my name is Mike Kelsey. Some of you may know me on my YouTube channel. It is Mina Mike TRX. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the paper airplanes, the OmniWing, and how they came about. I know I've shown a lot of videos on how to build, showing some of them in flight, and never really have taken time to introduce you all to myself. Let you see a little bit of me and get to know each other a little bit here. So my name's Mike Kelsey. I'm 58 years old, and yes, I still play with paper airplanes. I started messing around with paper airplanes, at least those beyond what I threw in grammar school to get sent to the principal's office. I'm sure we've all done that, but in 1973, I was out of high school. I was ready to find something to do, and I started flying hang gliders. The sport had just begun, and we were flying some pretty primitive aircraft. Even though they were right out of factories, they were still fairly primitive in design and performance. And my interest in paper airplanes came about by trying to develop a scale model that would duplicate the flight and performance of these hang gliders. And so eventually I came up with a design that was similar, although crude. It duplicated the twin conical sail shape and really performed fairly well, and was a nice test model to use to try to figure out how and why these hang gliders flew. And then as time went on, I pursued trying to make this model fly better, trying different methods of folding, different construction techniques. And so eventually I came up with what I now call the OmniWing. And if I can find it here, the OmniWing basically now looks about the size and dimensions of a modern hang glider. As far as the aspect ratio, as far as the amount of twist in the wing, as far as the construction techniques, you got a center keel and main supporting structures within the leading edge here, creating somewhat of an airfoil, and a remarkable increase in performance from what I now call the proto OmniWing. From that, I started just experimenting with different modifications, and found that there was just basically unlimited ways that you could fold and modify this wing. This here is kind of an example of the, let's say, the hang gliders in about the mid-70s. Started putting battens, and thus you would get that roach look cut on the sail gliders here. And some more fun here with modifications. How about a B-2 bomber? So often I'm going for something that's just for aesthetics, to the look and appeal of the look of the wing rather than performance. While sometimes I'm going for true full-on performance, and this would be what I would refer to as the advanced OmniWing. It's built on a larger platform, basically two sheets of the 8.5 by 11 put together. Quite often I'll build this airfoil up in a very time-consuming method of layering and supporting structures, and can end up with a wing that flies very fast with an extremely good glide ratio. Downside is it's made of paper, it flies fast, and when it comes in contact with objects, it can be doing damage to itself. So there's a trade-off, amount of time that I want to spend on an aircraft. This may, it's like when I was flying some competitions back in the early 70s, I might spend 2 hours developing a competition advanced OmniWing. And, the competitions, if they were indoors, I would win those. Even competing against, they would have these balsa wood divisions where people could build their craft out of balsa wood and toss them. And my wings would beat even in the open class there. So, yes, we've all seen this before. We've all thrown these before, and some of you have probably been sent to the principal's office for, hitting the chalkboard with this or almost putting out somebody's eye. And that's about the only purpose I see these, is being a projectile to toss and to annoy people. Many of the contests today, like with the Guinness records for paper airplanes, it's all about who can fold one of these up in the most needle nose fashion and has the strongest arm and can toss that thing in a parabolic arch, and that's your distance record. And so of course they will beat my OmniWings threefold. But as far as a true gliding machine, if I just threw this at its normal speed, it would quickly descend to the ground because it has a very low glide ratio. When you look at the aspect ratio of how long it is compared to the width, compared to my OmniWing, this would be more similar to like a high performance hang glider that gets very good, let's say a 16 to 1 glide ratio, or sailplanes that get 20 and 30 to 1 glide ratios. Now I could take this, tape it to that, now we've got something going on. Yeah, some people have done that. They said, hey, I took my OmniWing I built and I taped it to my dart and really got something going there. So there's endless possibilities what you can do with the OmniWing platform. And I encourage you to do so. Some have taken the OmniWing and made modifications to the point where it's really now their own wing. They could name it after themselves, and they've come up with something original, and that's what it's all about. Don't just stick with the builds that I've shown you. Experiment. Never give up on a wing that doesn't fly. Try shaping and bending and twisting to try to get that thing to fly. And that's where the most times you'll learn is when you've actually failed at something. Now is when the learning begins, because now you try to figure out where did it go wrong, what can I do to make things different. So just to let you know that I'm going to be going and on a project with my new camera here to redo all the videos that I've done in high definition. And I've got a little bit more experience now with the editing and filming and all. I'm by no means a pro, but I think for the material that I'm trying to present, it'll suffice. I can get the message across and the instructions across, and it'll look better, larger, and more clear, I hope, to those that watch. So just a message saying look forward to some more videos coming out. I'm probably going to start right with the Proto OmniWing, redo that, because that first video I did was just horrible. Noise from the water and the water fountain in the park, the noise from the train going by, and I'm not going to try to do it outdoors anymore. So we'll do a better job, and look forward to hearing comments from you all. I try to reply to every comment, whether it's a good comment, bad comment. I always have something to say. So let's leave it at that. Y'all have a good day, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the tube.